Hey there, my friend, Chad Reyes, and you're listening to the Leadership Table with Chad Reyes. Super excited to spend time with you. As we jump in, you can go to chadreyes.com/WMCA, and you'll be able to get information about anything we talk about today, events, conversations we're having at this leadership table. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk about leadership. When I think about leadership, the philosophy that my wife and I, Danielle, have created is awaken, empower, and equip. And as a leader, I just want to talk to you about those three things for a moment, because I just believe that if you're not awakened that there's more potential in you, then there's no chance that you'll be empowered to want to accomplish it. And then the last is, if you've been empowered, then you'll equip yourself with the tools. And I'm hoping that our conversations at the leadership table is going to be all about awaken, empower, and equip. I think about it. My wife and I have been truly blessed. We've been blessed to have the ability to empower generations of leaders in the school system, business leaders, ultra successful entrepreneurs and families that are transferring wealth. And I'll just share that empowering generations of leaders, to me, is the most important thing. Not one generation, but generations. Because as you know, in Scripture, it talks about 3 generations or more. And today we're gonna jump into a conversation around awaken your potential. It's a book that I recently wrote. It came out in April, and I'm super excited to share with you some of the principles that are in there. And I just want to share with you this, and then we'll jump into this concept. I heard a message many years ago, and the question was this that I heard. It said that, where is the wealthiest part of the world? And that got me thinking, where is the wealthiest part of the world? Is it New York City? Is it Dubai? And what the person said next changed my life forever. This was 15 years ago. And I'm hoping that what I'm about to share with you today will be the same thing. The message was, the wealthiest part of the world is down the block from your house. Not only is it down the block from your house, but it's a place that you'll never think of. It's the cemetery. Because in the cemetery are all the dreams, the visions, the books, the things that God deposited in your heart. And you know what? So many people take that to the grave. And my friend, I come to you today to share with you this message that I want you to rob the grave and die empty. That's what the leadership table is about. That's what our conversations on Sundays are going to be about, is that there's so much potential in you. God has built you with such potential. And I'm just hoping that God will use me to just release something in you. So, hey, let's jump on in. This quote here from D.L. Moody is so powerful. It says, "The world has yet to see what God will do with a person who's fully consecrated to Him." Think about that. You see, when we're all in, it's amazing what God will do. It's amazing how He'll use us. He'll use you. He's using me. My friend, potential is so powerful. Potential is what we're given. What we do with what we're given is our gift back to God. And I'm just going to share with you a little bit today. I'm just going to share from my heart. I have a desire for leaders to reach their potential. Potential here, I love what Miles Monroe says. He said, potential is a dormant ability. All you can be but have not yet become. All you can do but have not yet done. How far you can reach but have not yet reached. What you can accomplish but have not yet accomplished. Potential is unexposed ability and latent power. That's what our conversation is going to be about. For the next 3 weeks, we're going to be taking parts of my book, Awaken Your Potential. I'm going to give you, I'm going to share with you some of the principles that you can find in that book. They're nuggets. I'm so excited to share it with you. Honestly, I can't wait. One last quote that Miles Monroe said, and we're going to jump on in. He said, "Don't die old, die empty." That's the goal of life. Go to the cemetery and disappoint the grave. So that's what I'm looking to do. As I was preparing to share with you today, I was just thinking about how I'm going to help you rob the grave. Hey, let's talk about this. So awaken. I want to break down awaken and potential, because that's the name of the book. Awaken your potential. But on the leadership table, I want to talk about, because I'm going to be inviting some of my friends, my leadership friends, to this table. That we're going to have some amazing conversations over the weeks and months ahead, and all of it's going to be on potential and leadership. So let's talk about the word awaken, and I'm going to read it. The word awaken, it refers to the process of recognizing and consciously nurturing the hidden potential within ourselves and others. And then potential represents the dormant power within us, the inherent ability to evolve, adapt, and overcome our current limitations. It's the source of our yet to be realized talents and capabilities and dormant qualities that define who we can become. So let's talk about some reasons why people don't reach their potential, because I think it's so important as we jump into this message. The first is they don't have a growth plan. They don't have a way of how they're going to grow. They just expect to grow. The second is they lack clear goals. What's really interesting is that Harvard study said that only 3% of people write down their goals. But what's really interesting is when you write them down, you're 10 times more likely to accomplish them. That's mind-blowing. They fear failure. I don't know about you, but I've feared failure. I was terrified of failure. If I share with you, and I will on this leadership table, if I share with you where I came from and the failures I had, you would understand why I feared failure tremendously. They procrastinate through life. Think about that. They just procrastinate through life. They just walk around aimlessly. God never designed us to walk aimlessly. They lack discipline. They spend too much time with the wrong environments, the wrong people. They don't have mentors who challenge them. They have poor time management. They have an unhealthy stress life. And then lastly, they stay in their comfort zone. And part of what my goal is to get you out of your comfort zone. Leaders who lead well don't stay in comfort zones. They get very comfortable being uncomfortable. So I want to talk to you now about the first 3 chapters of Awaken Your Potential, my book. I'm super excited to share about these 3 chapters. Good intentions versus intentionally good. So for the next couple of minutes, we're going to talk about good intentions versus intentionally good. We're going to talk about we must value people to add value to people. And then the last is we're going to talk about how important it is to make your purpose bigger than your problem. You see, my friend, everything you and I want is getting out of our comfort zone. You're listening to the Leadership Table with Chad Reyes. Super excited to have you on. Visit chadreyes.com/WMCA. So let's talk about now chapter 1, good intentions versus intentionally good. I remember, and you're probably very much like me, I remember times where I had all these dreams. I remember my friend and mentor, John Maxwell, I remember him telling me and sharing this, that most people have uphill dreams with downhill habits. That's probably you, because it was me. I could definitely tell you that was me. And what I can tell you is great leaders, good leaders, they align their habits with their dreams. Now, you probably have some dreams that you want to accomplish that's going to require you moving from having good intentions to being intentionally good. And I just want to share with you a couple of things that I've shared in the book. I think you'll find very, very effective as we're having this conversation on the leadership table. The first is that step 1 is you want to start small and you want to believe big. I had a friend of mine many years ago who said to me, Chad, just get started, impact one life. And I said, wow, Kiki, you're so right. And I didn't realize it at the time, but what he was saying to me was start small, believe big. So many people believe big, but they believe they have to start big. No matter where you are, Whether you're super successful and you want to get to that next level, or whether you're just starting out and you're hoping to get to that next level, you need to start small. Small is relative. I remember many years ago, I was sitting down with a person worth $100 million, and he said, I don't have money. He goes, my friend so-and-so, they have a lot of money. They're worth 500 million. So just think about that. It's all relative. You just start small and you believe big. And then you move to the second part where you start walking and the vision becomes clearer. You know, I think about it, and just think about yourself for a moment, right? When you get in your car at night, imagine saying, I'm not going to move forward because I can't see the whole trip. I'm not going to pick up my son or daughter because I can't see the whole trip ahead of me. And that would not happen. You wouldn't do that. And I'm asking you, if you have a vision that's in your heart, don't have to see the whole trip. You don't even have to see 500 feet in front of you. Just start walking and the vision becomes clearer. As you start moving, the one thing I remember John saying to me, John Maxwell, I remember him saying this to me probably 9 years ago at this point. I remember him saying, we were on a mentoring call where it was a big group one, not John and my one-on-one time, but group call. And I remember I asked him a question: how do you accomplish a big vision? He said, Chad, obedience is never seen on this side. Obedience is seen on the other side. It's when you take that step and you start walking that you see the fruit of obedience. And you, like me, we just need to be obedient and take the step. If God's deposited something in your heart, you have to take that step, my friend. And watch what happens. That's step 2. Step 3, you start from your area of giftedness. You got to start in a strength. Let me give you step 4. Start building an intentional game plan. You have to have a game plan of how you're going to grow. If you don't have a game plan of how you're going to grow, you're just going to drift. And sometimes the wind's going to push you left, and sometimes it's going to push you right. But my friend, the greatest leader in the world, Jesus, was very intentional. He knew how he was going to disciple. He knew how he was going to grow people. And he invested 3.5 years into developing people that would change the world. You got to have a growth plan. You got to have a way to build an intentional game plan. And I'll just give you a little framework. Go as far as you can see. If you could only see a year, great. If you could only see a month, great. If you could see 10 years, great. Go as far as you can see and then break that down into a decade, a year, a quarter, a month, a week, a day, an hour, a minute. You see, that's how you accomplish big dreams. You just start walking and you start breaking them down little by little. And I'm a big believer that if it's God, He's going to bring the people and the resources that you need to accomplish the dream that He's deposited in your heart. Let me give you the last. Start the journey of becoming a lifelong learner. You have to go on this journey of being a lifelong learner. Hey there, my friend Chad Reyes. I am so excited about our radio show coming up, The Leadership Table with Chad Reyes. It's every Sunday at 6:30. Then we're going to go live on Monday at 6:30 so you could ask your own questions. Jump on in. We cannot wait to have you join us. It's going to be a time where I invite some of the greatest leaders I know to join me at a table. And what I've learned about a leadership table is that's where potential is released. Every Sunday, you want to join us. You want to be sitting at that table with us so that you can reach your potential, you can release it in others, and you can accomplish your dreams. My friend, like, share, comment, drop a comment. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. I just can't wait for you to be on with us. I cannot wait. And listen, hey, hit subscribe at our YouTube channel. Visit chadrayes.com/WMCA and you'll get all the details you need. I'll see you on the table. All right, so let's now jump into chapter 2. Chapter 2, I talk about we must value people to add value to people. It's such a powerful concept. You see, we will never add value to people if we're not valuing them? And I don't know about you, but I know in the beginning of my career, when I first started 20 something years ago, right out of college, I know that I didn't value people. I put the vision ahead of people. The vision was the vision. I knew that we would be doing and impacting many people. I knew that we would build successful organizations, but I made the vision more important than the people. And you may be that person. And if we're going to reach our potential, remember, potential doesn't happen by degrading. Potential happens by uplifting. It happens by sharing a word that encourages someone to want to continue forward or to challenge them. My friend, we will only add value to someone if we value them. Think about the people in your life that you value. You add value to them. You figure out ways to add value to them. And then think about the people that you don't. You don't add value to them. That's so key. I want to give you a couple things. The first thing about adding value to people, and this is the first thing here. You need to understand that every person wants to be valued. It's such a key. It's when I think of leadership, I think of leaders who at times will say it, sometimes they'll pretend it, but really at the end of the day, everyone wants to feel valued. Everyone. Here's the second. Every person wants to feel appreciated too. That what they did mattered. Like the people on your team, the people in your ministry, they want to feel appreciated. They want to feel valued. They want to feel respected. Let me give you the fourth one. They want to feel understood. And as a leader, it's our job to understand what matters to our people. So before we go a little bit further, I'm just excited to continue this conversation, but just want to share. You're listening to the Leadership Table with Chad Reyes. Visit chadreyes.com/WMCA. You can get a lot of information there on things that we're sharing on this podcast. So let's jump into this last part about being understood. I remember years ago, if I could explain to you how low my emotional intelligence was, you would be blown away. You would say, wow, there's so much hope for me. Because I got to tell you, I was ignorant and I was blind to it. But what I realized was as time goes on and you develop, the great thing about becoming more emotionally aware is you can develop the skill set. How I know is because I was so blind to it, and I've learned to develop the skill set. And I would say this is that listen and be aware and be present to what the people are saying to you. They want to be understood. And I remember years ago in business, I was trying to add value to people, but I was trying to add value to people in things that they didn't find valuable. And it's so hard to add value when someone doesn't find it valuable. So as a leader, as a business person, think about the people that are on your team. Think about people that are in your ministry. Think about the people that are in your family. What do they find valuable? And then how can you add value to them? It's a game changer. It changed my life. I know it'll do the same for you. And then I just want to share this last one about making your purpose bigger than your problem. You know, as I think about this leadership table and I think about the conversations we're going to be having together, because I really want to encourage you, keep joining us every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. on WMCA. It's powerful. We're going to have powerful conversations just like we're having today. And as I think about this last lesson on making your purpose bigger than your problem, it brings me to a story that I wrote in the book about Viktor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl was born in 1905, died in 1997. He was a victim of the Holocaust, lost all of his family members. But he was so known for purpose and meaning. And he wrote Man's Search for Meaning, one of the top 100 books of all time. I'd encourage you to read it. And why I bring that up is that every one of us has to make our purpose bigger than a problem. And I want to give you an example right now, okay? We're going to use my book as an example. Let's say this is my problem, and this is my purpose. You can't see the purpose through the problem. You can't. You see, God never designed us like that. God designed us with a purpose. He designed us to do something that can make a difference in this world. You have that purpose, and your purpose is different than mine. My purpose is different than yours, but we all have a purpose. You see, in this chapter, what I talk about is this, and this is what Viktor Frankl was so clear on, because he said when he recognized when people had a purpose to live, they fought more in the Holocaust. They fought through the struggles, and some of them made it through. Not all, but some of them made it through. And he recognized the ones that gave up was because for some reason they didn't see a light. They thought they would never get out of it. My friend, this if you're listening to it, I would encourage you to go back to the broadcast. We're gonna be going live on Mondays at 6:30 on our YouTube channel, and we're gonna be going live on our Facebook. And you'll be able to see the visual of what I'm sharing right now. See, what I want to encourage you is to make your purpose bigger than your problem. If this is your problem, and this is your purpose, you could always see your purpose through your problem. So you need to be able to look at your purpose and say, is it bigger than my problem? And my friend, I will just encourage you, what is your purpose? What is the possibility for your life? And one last thing is the need to sacrifice. Too many people, they want something without a sacrifice. It's not the way it is. It doesn't work. It never worked. It never will work. When you think of our faith, when you think of our relationship with Jesus, it was all based on a sacrifice. It was based on him doing something that he didn't have to do. Jesus doing something he didn't have to do, going to the cross, and he sacrificed for you and I. And that, my friend, is a person who made their purpose bigger than their problem. And I want to encourage you, whatever it is that you're dealing with, figure out how you can make your purpose bigger than your problem. It'll change the game. Hey, in wrapping, I'm just so excited to spend time with you today. I'm excited that we had the ability to come around the leadership table. These are where real conversations happen. This is where we get to empower generations of leaders. Invite your friends to the leadership table. Invite those that you care about to the leadership table. Jump on our live stream and have conversation. On Mondays at 6:30, we're going to have a live stream, and you're going to be able to ask your own questions and say, hey, Chad, I love what you shared on Sunday, but I have questions. And we'll answer real life questions. So powerful. Next Sunday, we're going to go through giving more than you take. We're going to go through why great commitments precede great achievement. And I'm going to give you a formula that we use. And then role versus identity, probably one of the most important things I'll ever share in my life. Hey, join us next Sunday at 6:30. I'll see you on Monday at 6:30 on YouTube and Facebook. Visit chadrayas.com/WMCA. You'll get all the information for the broadcast. You'll be able to log on. You'll be able to see everything from there. Hey, I want to thank you for spending time with me. Super excited for next Sunday. Hey, continue leading well, my friend. Join us Wednesday, October 16th. We are going to be having a fireside chat. Me and a friend and leadership expert and renowned author Elijah Lowe are going to be talking about leading through AI. I don't know about you, but AI it's literally taking over. You see it in everything. And I'm going to be having a conversation. We're going to be having a 60 to 90 minute conversation on how do we lead through AI. Hey, join me this Wednesday, October 16th at 12 p.m. You can go to chadrayas.com/WMCA. And on there will be the registration link. It's complimentary, but it's going to be a powerful time to talk about leadership in an AI-driven world. So my friend, join us. Don't forget, be there. I'll see you then.